All right, we're going to give folks a couple more minutes to jump in. This is Zach Rigo. We'll be reviewing the key to making online advertising profitable today by reviewing an account that is in the WordStream software. We'll dig into some areas of opportunity in their account, some ways to efficiently optimize it, and a specific workflow that you can all leverage to optimize your accounts moving forward. Just a little bit about me. I've been at WordStream for just over 5 years now, analyzed over about 1,000 AdWords, Facebook, and Bing accounts throughout that time, and have helped hundreds of small businesses optimize their AdWords accounts and online marketing strategies. By the end of this session, we'd like for you guys to understand the impact of quality score on your ROI, the importance of query management, and ad relevancy. WordStream's focus in the 20-minute work week is going to be optimizing those queries, identifying new targeting opportunities, and the best way to target your customers. We'll also dive into some advanced strategies to improve click-through rate and conversion rate, which is always the most difficult thing to do with online marketing. Just a little bit about us. WordStream has actually analyzed over $15 billion in ad spend for tens of thousands of campaigns over the years. Our clients on average are increasing their conversion 63% and lowering their cost 9%. Just to give you an idea of what we are managing today, there's $2.6 million in ad spend under management, and for our clients, we've generated over 118,000 conversions. We do this by focusing 100% on what your customers are searching to find you. Those are called search queries or search terms. The client we're going to be reviewing today is a window and siding company based in Wisconsin. This is a demo account, so it has been frozen kind of in time after their first trial with us. But you'll notice that 79.5% of their traffic is coming from queries that they are not bidding on. What this means is that they're bidding on a target keyword, which is allowing them to control their costs on that target keyword, but based on their match types, it's matching to a variety of queries on Google. The most important information that Google provides us are these queries. You'll see a few on this screen that might not be relevant to the client. For example, weathered wood shingles. Now, they do provide roofing shingles, and they do provide some new siding. This might be something that they'd want to dig into a little bit deeper. Also, wreath hanger for vinyl siding. Again, they provide the siding, they provide the window replacements. They might not want to show up for wreaths or hangers for wreaths. Those would be what we call negative keywords. On the flip side, they constantly want to be mining these queries for what we call long-tail keywords. You can see that windows and siding contractors would be a great search term for them to bid on directly, lowering their cost per click and improving their relevancy to the searcher. All of this mining of data has a huge impact on three key stats in all of your accounts. One being wasted spend. If we're going to be investing tens of thousands of dollars in AdWords, we've got to make sure that it's going towards people that are going to, one, click on our ads, and two, convert when they land on our page. You can see here this account is projected to waste close to $2,000 a month due to a lack of negative keywords being added. Again, going back to things like wreath hanger. This irrelevant traffic is also leading to a low click-through rate and a low quality score. Quality score has a massive impact on your ROI, especially in a competitive space like windows and sidings, where cost per clicks can be anywhere from $10 to $20 per click. The main factors in quality score are click-through rate, ad text relevancy, and then your landing page quality. Now, your landing page is going to be based on the ad group that you've created, so making sure that your ad and ad group are incredibly relevant to the query is going to be important. You can see here they're showing up for windows and siding contractors, but they're really positioning themselves as siding experts. To use a more e-commerce based example, if I was looking for men's running shoes and you showed me an ad that said you had men's shoes, I more than likely wouldn't click on it if there was an ad one below it that said men's Nike running shoes. You want to make sure your ad is as relevant as possible because someone looking for window and siding contractors might write off your business if you're only targeting siding. By mining these search queries every single week, eliminating the irrelevant ones, and more importantly, bidding on the relevant ones and creating ad groups around the relevant queries, you can improve your click-through rate, you can improve your ad text relevancy, and more importantly, you can develop a landing page that's very specific to your window and siding contracting jobs. All of this has a massive impact on your ROI and your cost per click. For example, with this account, just by improving their quality score by 1 point, which is still below Google's benchmark of a 7, they could reallocate $3,000 per month, or roughly 15% of their budget, back into generating calls and business. With their ASP being $5,000, this is a potential sale or $5,000 deal for them. Now, instead of wasting $3,000 a month, they're generating $5,000 a month in revenue. Now, optimizing this can be incredibly time consuming. What we want to make sure we're focusing on is an opportunity to efficiently mine queries and target a return on ad spend that makes sense. What WordStream's providing across AdWords, Bing, and Facebook is an interface for you to set a goal, letting us know that your cost per call, cost per sale, or cost per lead needs to be a specific dollar amount to generate profitable business on the back end. So the first thing you would do when getting started with us is set a goal, letting us know your profitability. Once that's done, we can actually measure the entire account against that goal. So every week you'll be able to log in, or every day you'll be able to log in and check out this dashboard to see how your account is trending in conversions, cost per acquisition, clicks, cost per click, and overall spend. You can also look across each of these networks. You'll notice we have Facebook, AdWords, and Bing loaded up here to see how each individual metric is trending on those campaigns, allowing you to quickly identify any areas of concern and, more importantly, drill into them. Now, we spent a lot of time in that slide deck focusing on query management and optimization of account structure to improve quality score. All of that will be able to be optimized through our 20-minute work week. This is a series of alerts that allow you as the business decision maker to efficiently and effectively take action on your account. Every week, these alerts will repopulate on a Sunday night. WordStream customers are logging in either Sunday night or first thing Monday morning and going through a set of alerts to optimize every point of their account. First one we want to look at is adding negative keywords. This has a huge impact on the relevancy of your account and, more importantly, any wasted budget. All you have to do is click in to the individual ad group. You'll notice here that we're in the Windows Services campaign and the Windows ad group. Now, negative keywords aren't always just irrelevant to your business. They're sometimes irrelevant to your ad group. So if everything looks like it needs to be set as a negative keyword, these one words right here, you can actually just accept all the changes. For this particular ad group, it's actually probably a good move for the client. Again, going back, we're saying that they're irrelevant to this particular ad group. Sometimes they're going to be irrelevant to the entire account. For example, Mercedes-Benz. They're doing home window replacement. They aren't doing car window replacement. WordStream makes it incredibly efficient for you to come in and let us know that you want to add this as a negative keyword across the entire account, since we're never going to provide back windows for Mercedes-Benz. In this case, we would apply. On the flip side, there are what we call ad group level negative keywords. Anderson is a model of replacement window they provide. So you'll actually notice they've created an Anderson Windows ad group with relevant ad text. But their more expensive Windows ad group is cannibalizing this traffic because they're allowing Google to choose which ad they want to show and which keyword they want to match this to. Within seconds, WordStream will allow us to add this as a negative keyword across the entire account, except for the Anderson Windows ad group. Well, now we've created a really small segmented funnel, allowing the Anderson ad to show up for the relevant query. This is actually a functionality that's unique to us. To do this in AdWords, we would have to export this data, aggregate the data around one individual word, and then upload the list to the specific ad groups. It's incredibly time consuming and usually leaves a lot of holes in the account. With WordStream, you can see we're able to do it in just 3 clicks. Again, improving our relevancy since we worked so hard to create that Anderson Windows ad group, and improving the client's experience since they're now going to not only see an Anderson Windows ad, they'll then see an Anderson Windows landing page. Again, as easy as checking the box, saving the location, and clicking apply. And what you'll notice, every single week as we go through and do this, the alerts will be marked complete, and you'll start to see the impact on the business. So there have been multiple alerts that have gone through this demo account since it's been in trial mode, but you'll notice that the savings impact is pretty substantial at $21,000 per year in annualized savings. These are clicks that this company has already generated, they've already wasted money on, they've now deemed irrelevant by our alert system. This $21,000 would have been roughly 15 new leads for this client, or 5 new sales and $25,000 in revenue. It's incredibly impactful mining this data and constantly segmenting your account. Now that we've mined through all of our queries to identify negative keywords, we want to put some of that money towards what we call long tail keywords that are actually generating leads and business for the account. It's a very similar interface. Every week you will come in and you'll get 10 highly specific recommendations that are long tail searches that you're currently showing up for, that most importantly are generating conversions for you with incredibly low CPAs. So once again, every single week we come through and we accept the recommendations and apply them to their ad groups. The great thing about WordStream having access to both AdWords and Bing is that we're taking action on 2 networks with just a few clicks of a button. There's no need to replicate our work, and it allows us to impact our relevancy across each network. All of this is click to edit, which becomes important. Again, you're the business decision maker. You might realize that, hey, Craigslist, I actually don't want to show up for it. You let WordStream know that it's better as a negative keyword. And over time, the software and the algorithms are going to learn your business. All we're using is data to support our findings. You, again, need to be the business decision maker to let us know yes or no on each of these individual queries that we want to take action on. Next piece of the pie, we click apply, and we've executed on adding 10 highly relevant long tail keywords that are currently generating business for us, but we are overpaying for since we are matching to a less relevant keyword. Now that we've mined our queries for both negative keywords and long tail keywords, we want to make sure we're optimizing our ad text. If we think about quality score, the most important factors are click-through rate. So by eliminating irrelevant traffic, we're improving our click-through rate. And ad text relevancy. So every week we want to make sure we are testing our ads and ensuring that we're writing relevant ads to the keywords that they are matching to. WordStream looks at 2 specific metrics. They're going to look at the click-through rate and conversion rate of each ad. The great thing about this interface is that we pull in Google's best practices check. What is Google looking for every time they audit an ad for relevancy? We've actually put in here for you. This allows you to check out top keywords and try to understand what are people searching that I'm matching to, and how can I make my ad more relevant to them? Right out of the gate, our top keywords are shingle roof and asphalt shingle roof that are driving over 2,000 impressions and searches in the last 30 days. But you'll notice that there is no mention of shingle roofs anywhere in our ad. So let's find a way to fit that in. The great news is we'll tell you if there are any misspellings. We'll tell you if you've gone over in characters, which is incredibly important because your ads will get disapproved. And we're going to constantly be letting you know how to use your top keywords and where you might be missing any opportunities to be more relevant. So use a top keyword in your description to improve your relevancy. Flexibility financing, lifetime warranties, largest selection. And let's test a new, more relevant description. The other thing we're going to let you know is not to use periods or exclamation points in your headline. This, again, is an old best practice that Google's changed since they've moved to ETAs. We want to make sure that we're following them. Once we've done that, we can actually click next. And since this ad group only had one ad, I want to keep the old one running. And I've now got an A/B test going, allowing me to test whether or not including shingle in the headline and in the description improves my click-through rate over my old underperforming ad. This is incredibly important. You should always have an A, B, and potentially C variation of your ad text going. And WordStream is going to keep you on top of that, always bringing to your attention the worst performing ad in each campaign that we can find. Any of the big outliers that you're going to want to take action on to improve your relevancy. Click Save New Ad. And we've done our ad testing for the week. Now that we've gone through our queries and we've gone through our ads to ensure they're relevant, we've really focused a lot on improving that click-through rate, improving that ad text relevancy, and improving our quality score. The next piece we want to think about is ROI. So one of the biggest tasks for managing an AdWords account is managing your bids across your keywords. Again, we talked early on about setting a cost per acquisition goal. My number one recommendation is to make sure that you are laser focused on generating profitable conversions. That means tracking conversions, tracking phone calls, understanding your closing percentage on them, and then setting a cost per lead, cost per call, or cost per sale goal that makes sense for the business and managing towards it every single week. So once we do set that goal, WordStream will analyze every single keyword in your account and find any opportunities to increase or decrease your bids based on ROI, average position, quality score, and click-through rate. For example, if we're showing up in average position number 1, but we're unprofitable, as is the case with vinyl siding, we might want to decrease our bid slightly, move down the page to maybe position 2 or 1.5 even, and find profitability. On the flip side, if we find a keyword that is falling down the page a little bit, but has a really nice quality score, a small increase in our bid becomes maximized by our quality score and allows us to improve our ad rank dramatically by just increasing the bid pennies even. So every week, WordStream is going to audit every keyword across AdWords and Bing and provide these recommendations. Now, once that goal is set, that will be our key benchmark to obtain profitability on each and every campaign. All you'll do is click apply and you'll make the change. If you want to get more or less aggressive with any bid, we provide you the flexibility to do so. If you want to dig into each and every metric, you're able to enable nerd mode and actually drill into our reasoning behind them. As I mentioned, vinyl siding, average position number 1, incredibly aggressive there. But if we're not profitable, let's lower our bid. If we find profitability in position 2, it's better than losing money in position 1. Click apply, and we're able to move on. Now that we've optimized our bids across the keywords, let's make sure we're optimized across devices. Relatively new feature to AdWords over the last few years, really important depending upon your business. This is a siding and window services company. They're going to generate phone calls because people are going to want quotes over the phone. It's going to be really important to target devices appropriately. The great thing about WordStream is we don't always just tell you to increase budget or increase bids or increase device adjustments. We will tell you to decrease them when we find an opportunity to do so. For example, you'll notice that tablets are costing us $831 per conversion. There's no reason we should be paying the same amount or even more in some cases per click than we are on computers. Same goes for mobile devices. We're spending significantly more to generate a quote on this particular ad group and campaign. We should be decreasing our bid adjustment on those devices to balance things out, and more importantly, allow us to spread our budget out throughout over the day across each device. All we have to do is check each of the recommendations. Again, we give you the flexibility to modify them and accept. This is going to happen across multiple campaigns. You'll notice we have another recommendation for Windows services where we actually want them to go in and increase their mobile bid adjustment due to the volume of traffic. The average position, which mobile, you're pretty much in position 1 or none at that point. We want to make sure that we are adjusting our bids and being competitive there, especially when we're seeing a great click-through rate that's a whole percentage point higher than computers with this particular ad group. The data is supporting this, and it's telling us what our customers are searching on and where we're finding the maximum return. We want to make sure that we're adjusting accordingly, and WordStream is going to allow you to do that just by alerting you to it every single week. Now that we've managed our bids and allocated our budgets accordingly, we can start to look at account structure. Every single funnel that you create for every service or product that you are marketing, you want to make sure that they are relevant over time. So you're constantly going to be adding keywords, you're constantly going to be adding negative keywords and creating new ad groups. WordStream is going to audit every one of these ad groups to ensure that they're as relevant as possible. So you'll notice this was our Windows Services ad group. It had 26 keywords in it. It's really hard to write one ad that's relevant to 26 different keywords when there's really only 3 lines of text. So WordStream analyzed all the keywords in this ad group and identified that replacement was showing up time and time again. So we actually want to peel that group of keywords out and create an entirely new ad group for it. So one click of a button, we break out those 13 keywords into a new ad group. This is our now replacement Windows ad group, and we can create a new ad. In a matter of 3 clicks, we've identified an opportunity to write a brand new ad that's incredibly relevant to replacement windows. This is important to, again, the customer's experience with your ad. If they're looking for replacement windows, let's let them know that we not only provide that, but we're willing to provide them financing, a quote, and any other unique selling propositions to that specific service offering. For sake of time, I'm not going to write out an entire ad, but this interface will allow you to do so. Once again, check your best practices, and you've created a brand new ad group and a brand new funnel that will send the client to now the replacement Windows landing page. This not only increases click-through rate because now our ad is more relevant to our keywords, it will increase conversion rate because the landing page that we're sending them to is going to have our replacement Windows offering. 3 clicks and we've identified a whole entire funnel that is going to help this client, again, increase click-through rate, conversion rate, and more importantly, quality score. We're cruising through these alerts. We have just 2 more. Review costly keywords. Incredibly competitive space. Most of AdWords is now incredibly competitive. If you found a new market that is not, get aggressive with it because it soon will be. Roofing has become incredibly competitive, and digging into your keywords and their profitability every single week is really important. So you'll notice this keyword, roofing contractor, has a cost per acquisition that's 68% higher than your campaign average. If I told you you could spend $1,000 and generate 2 leads, or spend $1,000 and generate 1, you would take 2 for that $1,000 every day of the week. You should think of your keywords no differently since they're all pulling from the same budget. And what WordStream is going to do is allow the data to drive your actions. You become the business decision maker. You have a few opportunities here. You can reject the suggestion. You can modify the keyword to make it a longer tail. The best first step is typically restricting the match type a little bit and controlling what Google's showing us for. So in this case, I would move this to exact match. For these other recommendations, maybe move down to phrase from modified broad. This allows us to control the queries that they're matching to, and more importantly, control our cost. In some cases where you're identifying a keyword that is much too costly, you've got to cut it out of the account and reallocate that budget towards profitable conversions. So we can actually just pause the keyword itself. If you want to drill in to more specific stats, you can enable nerd mode and dig in to every stat that keyword is generated. It's incredibly important to constantly mine this because you will find that there's 1 or 2 keywords that are cannibalizing the majority of your budget, and Google is funneling the majority of your traffic to it. WordStream will alert you to this every week to ensure that your money is being spent evenly across your keywords and, more importantly, being spent on profitable keywords. Last alert is pause duplicates. We've talked a little bit about competing with ourselves across the ad groups when we looked at negative keywords and having that Anderson Windows ad group showing up. You know, that's part of Google's algorithm. There is going to be some overlap dependent upon your match type strategy and your keyword strategy. You've got to constantly be identifying those one-word negative keywords. There's nothing worse than actually bidding on the same keyword in different ad groups and competing with yourself. Because what Google is going to do the majority of the time is drive traffic to the more costly keyword, because their algorithms are always going to look at ad rank, which is cost per click times quality score. So you can see here, WordStream audited every single campaign and found any keywords that were identical in the same campaign, which means they're actually competing with each other, because the only segmentation would be on the campaign level for time of day, or geo target, or device target. So these keywords are actually competing against each other every day, and we're allowing Google to choose which one they want to show. So we want to go in and constantly force Google to show the keyword that we want, dependent upon the ad group. So you'll notice cedar siding repairs. We have a siding repairs ad group and a wood siding ad group. This one's probably more relevant to the siding repairs ad group. I'm going to pause the wood siding. Best siding contractor, best siding contractor. This one's a little bit tricky. You're the business decision maker. Choose which direction you would like to go. Importance being, don't allow Google to choose which keyword to show. Control Google as much as you can. We give you the opportunity to quickly take action on these. Click apply, and we're able to move on. That's the 20-minute work week. Every week, we are laser focused on helping you achieve your CPA goal and settings that you will go through and set up as a part of our onboarding. You should every single week be taking about 70 to 100 actions on the account. On average, WordStream customers are implementing about 80% of our changes. The other 20% is an opportunity for our algorithm to learn your business. By doing this every week, you're going to be improving click-through rate, ad relevancy, quality score, and more importantly, ROI. In just a matter of minutes, we identified thousands of dollars in wasted spend across negative keywords. This account itself has identified over $20,000 over the last year that was spent on irrelevant traffic. We also, by doing this week over week and optimizing our funnels and improving our ads relevancy, will improve our quality score, which was $3,000 a month that we were paying in cost per click premiums due to quality score under Google's benchmark of a 7. This isn't all we do, but this is an opportunity for you to take action on your account every week and ensure that your ads are as relevant as possible to what your customers are searching. There's a whole lot more that's included in WordStream. Under this Manage tab, you can drill into each account individually. You can report on each account through our success reports every single week or month and drill in a bit deeper. We'd like to answer some questions that might have come up, and we'll also have an offer for you guys, which I think we should all be taking. Again, this is a demo account where I actually went in and did an audit of every single query, every single alert, every single ad group to identify opportunities. And we've got a team here that is happy to dig into your account individually and provide you with a fully customized account review, where they will go into every single alert, every single ad group, and more importantly, go through some of our more advanced tools with you to help you identify opportunities. The worst case scenario for you is you walk away with 100 changes you can take back to your account and apply. Best case scenario, we improve your workflow dramatically week over week by getting you on board with WordStream software, which is really a huge time saver and really will help you target what your customers are searching and, more importantly, target profitability.
Okay, Zach, so we have a couple questions that came in, lots of content, a couple questions about some of the concepts that you were talking about, and then some about our software here at WordStream. So first up, when we were talking about creating new ads, so just to get this straight, WordStream helps the process to create new ads based on historical search data, right?
Yeah, so there's two ways we can do it. We will help you identify ads that are underperforming based on data in your account today. We'll also help you identify new ad group segmentations and leverage existing ad text to create new ads and ad groups. We went through that in the split ad groups alert as well. We do have more advanced tools, again, going into this Manage tab, where our query stream tool will allow you to quickly search and mine all searches that were typed in and triggered your ad and create new ads for them through that exact same interface that we reviewed.
Awesome, great. Another question based on kind of the concept. Someone was just on the webinar today is a little confused about long-tail keywords and how they're different and why they're so important.
Yeah, great question. So long-tail keywords show a higher buying intent. So a long-tail keyword is going to be 3 words or more. The more keywords that I add to my search, the more likely I am to convert. Again, going back to the shoes example, if I type in men's shoes, I'm at the very top of the funnel. I'm just beginning the research phase. Whereas if I type in men's Nike running shoes, I've now identified that I want a Nike shoe and I need a running shoe. So bidding on that term directly is, one, lowering the competition because anyone that sells men's shoes is going to be bidding on the keyword men's shoes. And it's also increasing my chances of converting due to the fact that I've already done my research. I'm showing a lot of buying intent. That's when you want to jump into the auction market and throw your hat in the ring and try to obtain the business. So always, always, always bid on a long tail keyword. It doesn't mean we avoid two-word terms, but we should be strictly using them for keyword research to identify new opportunities to create ad groups or keyword targets.
Awesome. Another keyword question. So you showed us how easy it is to add negative keywords using WordStream, but how often should somebody be adding negative keywords in their account?
Yeah, great question. You know, we recommend doing it once a week, and these aren't broad sweeping changes. Again, we talked a lot about segmenting the funnels and creating smaller, tighter knit groupings. Adding negative keywords can be done on the account level and should be for, you know, terms like free. If you don't offer any free services, we want to add that in across the account. But every week there are one-word variations that need to be added to different ad groups to control the ads that are being served. What we tend to see is a lot of accounts have added a list of negative keywords when they first launch it and then let it run on autopilot. Unfortunately, Google search terms are changing by 20% every week. And the way people search changes due to news stories. Just last week, we did a great blog post about the tax bill that went through and actually put a little bit of a notice to all CPAs and accountants in our database, because they're going to get a ton of traffic for people looking for the tax bill reform. And they would have never thought to add reform as a negative keyword. So keeping up with current events is one way of thinking about negative keywords, but every single day they're changing and you need to be on top of them because they can blow a lot of your budget very quickly.
Awesome. Okay, we've got time for just one more question, and this question has to do specifically with the software that you've been showing us some screenshots of. So this person on the webinar wants to know, so if they're using WordStream, do you also have to then log into AdWords or Facebook or Bing and accept those changes? How does that all work?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one we get a lot of. The huge value here is taking you out of those interfaces, taking you out of having to use Excel, AdWords, Bing, and Facebook to apply your changes across them at once. So everything that you do in WordStream will apply back to your accounts. They will apply back as if you made them, and they're yours to keep, which is outstanding. We try to be very transparent as a company and give you full control. But yeah, to answer the question, everything you do in here is going to apply back to your account when you're a customer of WordStream's, and you only have to learn one interface now instead of 3, and we'll also provide you a ton of great training, support, and even consulting if you decide to add it on, which I highly recommend doing because we have a team of experts here that can help take your account to the next level.
Awesome. That sounds great. Okay, well, that's just about as much time as we have for today's webinar. So huge thank you to Zach. Lots of insight there, lots of really, really valuable knowledge for all of you guys on the line. As Zach said, we have our blog, which is filled with tons more information on the industry. So definitely check that out as well. And look in your inboxes within the next 48 hours or so, and you'll receive an email with the recording as well as the slide deck that Zach used today. So thanks everybody for joining, and we hope to see you on a future webinar.